Low key.
What's the word of the day? Low key.
Low key.
Keep your business off of Facebook.
Please.
And keep it low key.
Please.
I'm tired of knowing about what's going on in your house.
Please.
Welcome back to another week of the Off-Air Hustle. It's your favorite cousin, Deona Hustle, event host, MC. And like I told you last week, if you leave the DJ booth long enough, I might take over and do a little 1-2. Major shout out to the Zoo Studios, which is where we are currently recording. And we are back at it with another phenomenal guest. Now, as last week, I had a laundry list of accolades to mention for our guests. This week, it's the same thing. Kansas City, Missouri native. You know him as Royal Chief. You've seen him hosting the On the Wax battle. You've seen him DJing. I just saw him DJing at the New Year's Eve party at Parlor, doing his thing. He's written for good music. He's been everywhere, Atlanta, KC, and now he's right here on the Off-Air Hustle. Appreciate you, Royal Chief.
No, I appreciate you having me.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
It's a new year.
It's 2025. We back at it.
All right. So before we talk about your goals, your journey, I got this fun game I like to call the Icebreaker.
Okay. I like games.
It's underrated or overrated. I'm going to name a bunch of different things, and you can let me know if you feel like it's under or overrated, all right?
All right. Cool. I'm ready.
All right.
You lock in.
Yeah, go ahead, lock in.
Son, get right.
Okay, first and foremost, the Kansas City Chiefs.
We underrated, man. We always underrated my whole life.
That's real.
Big dogs, though.
KC nightlife.
KC nightlife, underrated. It's a lot to do. It's just, if you know, you know.
That's
IYK,
real.
YK.
Okay, we're gonna put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Oh, super underrated. I'm low key. Whenever people born, everybody should have a therapist from like the day,
I agree with
you
that.
was born. Like,
we need to start pushing
need to set that up. Like literally, yes.
Yeah. Atlanta.
This is tough for me.
I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit.
It's Atlanta is properly rated.
Mm-hmm.
It's
how
where
it's need to be.
It's where it's supposed to be. It's properly rated. It is neither under or over.
Okay. Hip hop.
Oh, see, now I'm asking you to break these down. Hip hop.
Current stage of hip hop
is, I guess, overrated.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's not as good as it used to be. I'll say that.
Okay. Kanye West.
He properly rated. That's
okay.
one of the greatest artists to ever do it.
Good music. They don't exist anymore.
They don't exist anymore.
But when they were around.
When they was around, they was this shit. They were underserved. That's what they was.
That's for sure. Okay, bonus question. What type of impact do you envision you'll leave on KC and the world?
I think for me, like, we all got like big dreams and aspirations and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And we see a lot outside the city, a lot of things, but we've never really seen it up close. And that was the big thing for me is like, I want to be the up close and provide people with people who can't lead a city with the shit I got when I left.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, I'm from where you from. Here's everything I learned, everything I had, all the stuff I had access to or I gained or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, here's all my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to platform that or give people that here. So they may not have the means to leave or, they
That's
may
real.
not have the courage to leave. And so
That's
it's
a
just
different
like,
beast
here.
to leave.
Oh, yeah. It's different. It's a lot.
We're going to talk about that for sure.
For sure.
So with you being Royal Chief, I got to ask you how you came up with your name. Because I heard that you had another name before that. Was it J-Dub or something like that? I see.
I did. I used to go by that. I had several names. J-Dub was the last name I went by. Mm-hmm. But when I was in Atlanta, I was like, all right, this ain't original enough. I need something that's like gonna separate me. And I was just thinking on like distributing music and whatnot, and people finding me and everything like that, little like IP and all the discovery, like Google and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, J-Dub ain't gonna cut through.
And people don't think about that part. That's important.
But it's important. Like, you want to be
different.
As easy to find as possible.
Yeah.
You want to be original. Something like when you type in Royal Chief, I'm right there. I'm the first thing that pop up.
Yeah.
So I wanted the name change, and I was like, I needed something that's representative from where I'm from. And so for me, it was like easy. I'm just take the teams and combine them. And I'm like, I don't know any artist that has that. I didn't know anybody at the time who like
I was
had
say,
anything like that.
You the only royal chief I know.
Listen, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Somebody beefing with me about that name to this day.
Oh, we gonna talk about that too, because I remember seeing
beefing with me about that name.
I'm like, what?
And
when I saw that, I was like, yeah.
Somebody beefing with me about that name. All I know is when I came up, and I don't even think it was nothing like crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing.
But I was just like, yo, this is what I want. I feel like it represents the city. Anytime I'm not in KC, I'm around the world. You know where I'm from by the name. So that's what inspired it. And I just needed something original, something that nobody had, easy to find, and that represented where I'm from.
Okay. Now, what inspired you to do music? You said earlier that Kanye West is one of the greatest to ever do it.
For sure.
Talk about your inspiration of you getting into hip hop.
Yeah, so I like coming up, I always used to like write, draw, just do stories and whatnot coming up. But it wasn't until I went to an Usher concert, the Truth Tour. It was fresh off Confessions.
Okay.
Love Usher. Favorite R&B singer.
Have you been to his residency?
I haven't been
in
to his
Vegas?
residency.
He wilding with these cherries.
Hey.
So I don't know if you should bring a +1.
We ain't gonna be that close. Nah, we up here. We gonna enjoy the view from back here.
Facts.
That's my dog. Like, that's some player shit that I do.
It is. It's
but
fire.
I wouldn't let
I wouldn't
do to my girl. You know what I'm saying? But fly shit though. Fly shit.
Yeah. You get points, Usher.
You know what I'm saying? Big ups, big up. I might pull that out in my show.
You should.
But so he had a concert, the Truth Tour, over at Kemper Arena.
Okay.
Well, it's Hy-Vee Arena.
Hy-Vee Arena, yeah.
So I went to the concert, and Kanye was actually opening up for him. So it was fresh off the College Dropout. Kanye was one of the openers. Hot. It's blowing up. And it was my first time seeing like rapping that style, right? Because everything at that time was like super street, super. We drug dealing, we banging, we doing all that, which is we all adjacent to that. We come up where we come from. You know what I'm saying? It's prevalent, but we may not be that exactly.
Exactly,
so Kanye was more of the artist or the person who was around it, but wasn't necessarily in that, and that resonated with me a little bit. And so he did a song called Spaceships, and when I heard Spaceships, I was just like, oh, this is what I want to do for my life.
Really? And so what age were you at that point?
I was 13? Yeah, I think I was 13 at that time.
Yeah. I feel like that's the age where a lot of stuff like that passion starts to come up. That's when you really start to be like, ooh, I see this, I'm inspired by somebody, and now I want to be that, or I want to excel past it. So that's definitely dope.
Yeah, you kind of get a little direction, you know what I mean? You kind of find like what your passions, you explore a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I just like them stories and the art and stuff I was doing, I just kind of started translating that into music, telling them stories, through rhythm, you know what I'm saying, through flow, and that's kind of how it started for me.
Now, outside the music, I feel like you and I have similar stories within us picking up and going to another city and starting fresh. Yeah. That takes a different type of courage. That takes a different type of faith.
For sure.
It's a different type of beats, period. Not everybody can do that, and that's okay. But I know you moved to Atlanta around when you were 20.
Yep.
Could you dive into that?
Yeah. So I moved. It was September 2012 is when I done. I think September 28th was the exact date. But I had decided. So my brother, I got a gang of brothers, but the one directly above me, Kevin, he was like my biggest supporter. You know what I mean? He really he believed in me more than I believed in me.
That's what's up.
In this music and stuff. And so he actually passed away in 2012, January 2012.
My condolences.
I appreciate it. But when he passed, I was just like, yo, I need to, like, I had been kind of making the Atlanta play since I was like in high school. But, you graduate, and I had already decided I wasn't going to college. I was like, I know I want to do music.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like college was going to be
Enhance
that for me.
chance,
I was just like, man, I feel like I can, I was already kind of making beats, learning to record myself and stuff, and I just didn't think school was going to do what I needed. And I was like, I'm going to go to Atlanta. I had a dude who was managing me at the time. I had to connect out there. So I was like, I already know. So I graduated, but I didn't move right away. I was still here. And then he passed in 2012. And that was kind of like the wake up for me. I was like, yo, I can't just be here and just not like it. Him passing can't be in vain. Like, I got to go do this for him, if not for me.
Yeah.
You know what I
Especially
mean?
the way you say he supported you.
Exactly. I'm just like, yo, it it wouldn't be right by me to not really try it.
Yeah.
You know, not really give it a chance. Like no matter what happened, you know what I'm saying? It was just like I can always come back home.
Yeah.
Home ain't gonna change.
That's real.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. So I decided April of that year, and then September I was gone.
That's
you know
what's
what I
up.
mean? I hopped in the whip. My mom's gave me she had a little O2 Civic. She gave me her
No,
car.
that's right. See, parents.
Hopped in there and rolled.
The parents be supportive parents, supporting friends, family. That's what it takes to finally make that type of transition.
Yeah, you need that. You know what I'm saying? And she even then she didn't quite understand it, just the music and what, cause you know, parents they it's hard for people to like really conceptualize that, right? Like nobody's ever really seen it up close. At least most people around us. So
and parents don't see the tangible part of it either. They just like concerts. What does that do? Like,
you know what I mean? And of course, you know, she wanted me to go to school. She wanted me to do all those things, and I understand it. But you know, she know me. I'm gonna do what I want to do. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna try to support you in any way that I can. So she gave me the whip, hopped in there and was gone, you know what I'm saying, headed to the South. Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, so you made it to Atlanta.
Yeah.
What was your first few moves when you were out there?
So my dog, the dude's management at the time, his name was Sean. Sean had to connect with a dude named Groove Chambers. Now, Groove is from here. Groove did the Nappy Roots. You remember the Nappy Roots?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So Groove produced like their whole first album.
That's what's up.
Like everything except for like po folks. Like the All Naw. Like Jazzy Faye gets credit for All Naw, but it was Groove who produced All Naw. Jazz is just on the hook of All Naw.
I didn't even know that.
And most people don't. But so they were established down there. So Groove was running a studio called Tree Sound. It's one of the biggest studios down there. So my guy Sean like got me plugged in with him. And so he grew up and I was like, yo, I'm moving to Atlanta. So I got down to the studio and it's so funny. I got down there, he hadn't seen my message, and so I pulled up and I think I knew the code to that joint.
Oh, so you just walked up in.
So I just walked up in.
Okay.
And told him, I was just like, yeah, I'm here to see Groove. And they was like, oh, okay. And then I just started walking up to his office. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so they started panicking and whatnot, and like called up to him, and he like kind of went and like ducked off in his room and stuff like that. And then I hit my boy Sean, and they called him, and it was all cool because he didn't know
that you was on the way.
That I was on the way, and they didn't,
you
know what I'm saying? Nobody knew my name. Niggas didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So it was hilarious. But my first move down there was just going to the studio, getting with him, and just being like, yo, I'm here. And so when I first got down there, I was supposed to only stay in that building for like the first 2 weeks, but I didn't have no money. I had a job. I at Radio Shack.
Okay.
Rest in peace to Radio Shack.
I was gonna say Radio Shack is dead, just like Blockbuster.
Right.
That was the time.
I had a job at Radio Shack, and so I transferred my job, but I was making like $7.25 an hour. I ain't had no money for like no rent, nothing like that. So I was just like, I just thug it out the whip and just figure it out. I'm down here now. I just figure it out. And so
most people would have just quit.
Yeah. But I ain't got that in me. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I'm just like, we gonna figure
it out.
I'm Mr. Make a Way.
Yeah.
So I got down there. I was supposed to stay in there 2 weeks. And we just kind of, me and him got cool. I got cool with some people in there. And he ended up just letting me just rock out.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so I was in there. I had all my stuff in the whip. I got a gym membership so I could take showers. Shout out Lifetime Fitness.
That's crazy. That's what's up. That shows you, your determination.
Yeah,
like your determination is a different beast. Because most people that I know would have been like, nah, I'm headed back home and I'm gonna just do what my mama want me to do. So that's what's up. I commend you on that. That's definitely tough.
I appreciate it. It was I don't know, for me it was just kind of like, hey, this is what it is. Like this is this is what you hear about, you know what I mean? This is what folks got to do. It's funny, I just talked to one of my little cousins. He older now, but he was telling me about like how his parents was telling him the story of me going down there. He's like, yeah, really? Man, they were saying you was like living in a closet and all kind of stuff. And I was just like, I kind of was. I was living under some stairs, but it was just like, I was cool with it. I'm like, man, I'm in one of the biggest studios in the world. Like it's superstar. It was like being in a frat house, except for celebrities was there all the time.
I get that, yeah.
So I was just like, man, it's cool for me. I take my little shower, you know what I'm saying? Got my clothes in the car.
Right, you got your necessities.
Yeah,
but you also, I feel like you probably knew too, it was temporary.
Yeah,
like you knew that it was going to pay off.
For sure.
And that's another thing too. If you don't feel like you see the end game or where you trying to go, then of course ain't nobody gonna do that. But you of course knew
definitely. So yeah, I was just like, hey, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be around it. Like I'm in the industry. So
yeah, oh, you definitely
trade off.
I was gonna say you definitely are tapped in for sure. Now I know you have had some work with Good Music because we mentioned them earlier.
For sure.
How did that happen? Because Good Music was crazy. I wish it still was around. I mean, I know everybody's life, everybody that was a part of it, life has changed. Everybody's doing whatever.
Yeah.
But that was a crazy time for the music industry. And I felt like it was a lot of great music. Not good music. I feel like it was great music that came out of that entire development.
Yeah. So hang around the studio. We used to run into people, people coming there having sessions. And so like I would just be hanging out with the interns, but we used to sit in there play video games all the time, right? They had back then we was a bunch of 2K, Call of Duty, Madden, the usual suspects. So they had a projector and it was big ass wall. They had a big old like live sound stage or whatever. They could have concerts and stuff in. So we just projected on the wall and be in there, just playing the game.
Just chilling.
So I was in there, so Saha the Prince came in. He'd be there all the time working. We just started playing 2K together all the time, right? We going back and forth every time he comes to the studio. We go run a few games.
Wait, who was you playing with?
Me, at that time, I was a big Chicago Bulls fan, Derrick Rose fan. So I was playing with the Bulls.
Okay.
Bulls was my go-to team. Derrick Rose, Lou Aldang, all them. That was my guys.
That was a beast. I wish I wish Derrick Rose could have had a better career than, of course, that injury put him down.
Put him down. It's potential he never got to reach, man.
Yeah.
But at that time, though, dog.
He still was cold.
Yeah,
the way he was dunking the ball, I'm like, bro, cold. Like Westbrook before Westbrook was dunking like
different
that.
Beast.
He was crazy.
Different beast. But yeah, that was the Bulls was my go-to.
Okay.
So we used to all be in there running all the time. So Saha, me and him would play often. And then one of the days we ran a couple games and he was just like, yo, I'm working on this EA album. You trying to come hear this? Yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm gonna say no.
And be like, let's go.
So he was working on this was Yeezus at the time that he was working on.
Okay.
So we go in there, he's just playing some records. He played main thing he was working on at that time was Bound 2. But he was working on the original version, which was Bound 1.
That was fire.
Yeah, so it was, he's in there hearing all the vocals, Charlie and John Legend, all this shit. I'm just like, yo, this shit is crazy. So, he's just playing the records we going through, and he kind of just let me be in on the sessions.
Yeah.
And over time, it just kind of evolved to me being invited, like, to all the stuff he was on, and then I'm getting to help on some of these records. And, of course, he was working on his project, the Black History Project at the time.
Okay.
And so we'd be hanging out with him. We play 2K, go to his house, go work on the albums. We work on Ye records. It was a lot of features at that time we work on. I think that was from 2012 to about 14. So yeah, it was a lot of feature records, collaborative shit. Yeah. Saha was my way into that and just kind of seeing that side of the world and the writing and kind of how this shit really works. And getting my first like taste of like the industry and business and again writing and just how these entities are made.
Yeah. Because that's a different thing too. Like you might know you want to do something, but until you really see the business behind it, that might affect your passion. You might be like, oh no, I'm not trying to be mixy. I'm not trying to jet for people. Do all of those things. Sure. So for you to get that insight is definitely dope.
It taught me. Atlanta just taught me the business, and then it taught me how to make music. That was the other part. Is I was just writing verses, but like no, these are songwriters. You know what I mean? It's like structure, it's craft, it's a thought out process. Like they creating with intention down there.
Yeah.
And so it was just learning that and how to build rollouts and projects and how collaborative this was. Everybody think it's just one person doing it, but it's not, man. They be having a gang of people in the rooms, or they be hitting like, oh, I want to get this ad, I want to get that. Let me go hit up this person. Let me go, and it's anybody who's that big at that level, they not doing it by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely not. And if you think down to it, nobody ever really is. Not if it's successful. Like everybody want to act like they got it out the mud. No, not really.
We got it out the mud.
We got it together.
Yes.
You get inspired by a friend. Like anything can just, of course, trigger a verse. I'm sure too. Yeah. How do you write when you're in a studio? Do you need to hear the beat first, or how do you start off?
So for me, usually I'm hearing the beat first. There's been a couple times where I may just have like an idea or thought or like a saying, or somebody say something slick.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sounds
like
cool.
that,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But generally, I'll hear the beat first, or I'll have like a sample I like, and I'm take it to somebody, and we're like, okay, let's construct
Do
from
something
here.
with it.
Yeah,
Like
but
that Deona Howard joint you.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
yeah, I bring that in. I'm like, yo, I want to flip this. Like,
Yeah.
let's figure it out. So yes, that's how I usually do it.
Okay.
One of them ways.
All right. Now I got this segment we got to slide to, and we still gonna talk about more of your personal journey,
For sure.
and then
We
of
here.
course you coming back to Kansas City, because I got to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Because that's a different perspective too.
Yeah.
Going off, then coming back.
Yeah.
So we're gonna dive into that. But this is our hustle.
Magic
This is our
box.
segment I like to call, brought to you by Hustle and Shine in the Morning. Weekdays, 6
Shout
a.m.
out my dogs, man.
10 a.m. on Hot 103 Jams. A bunch of different prompt questions.
Okay.
And you're going to pull a couple of them, just
All right.
one each time.
All right,
and we're both going to answer them
All
together.
right.
Okay.
Get the good shake in.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, crossover.
You know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
do a Derrick Rose crossover.
You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Oh, this is a long one. Let me see. Can you still work with someone who has a messy personal life? Oof. I can. I've danced with the devil a lot in my life.
Okay. You can two-step for sure.
You know what I mean? I get down and make it work. Yeah, I can. I just, that personal life can't bleed into what we got or what we trying to do. But yeah, when you in learning like how collaborative all this stuff is, you also just learn like, fam, every situation ain't gonna be like super ideal or it ain't gonna all work exactly how you want it. So you got to adapt to it and be like, all right, I need to get this out of this person. How do I need to set this up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
real.
that we can work properly and it can be cohesive. We can get what we need out of it. Because, some people are like super, super talented, but like you said, they messy, they got drama, or they ain't, it's a lot. People ain't punctual, they ain't got this professionalism lacking. There's different things.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you got to eat that.
Yeah.
Now there's things like money. A lot of time money can solve them problems,
Of
but
course.
we ain't got access to money all the time. So you got to deal with it. You got to thug it, and you just got to make the environment what you need it to be to get what you need
I
out
like
of it.
that. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I feel like sometimes the more you collaborate with people, the more you do see people are human.
Yeah,
And they have a lot of, they make mistakes. They have a lot of messy stuff going on.
For sure.
So I feel like, especially for me being a woman, I think it's a different perspective on how we like view that question.
Definitely.
Like men more so, y'all don't care if homeboy just got set out on Facebook.
Yeah.
Y'all be like, whatever, I'm finna go to the stew with him. Whereas women, if it's something that's like, something that's important, they like, nah, I'm not finna go to the studio with him.
For sure.
So I do think it's different from like men and women, but I do get what you're saying, and I agree with you too on the more you work with people, the more you kind of see, collaboration is key regardless, and everybody got their stuff.
Everybody got their stuff. And you're right though, it like for men and women, it definitely can be different. Unfortunately the patriarchy is what it is. And there's people are sexist out here. They don't believe women can do a lot of things, or they see that mess and it's cool when dudes do it and not when women. So that's something, you got to take into account.
Yeah.
But yes, and it also depends. If your mess is
Now,
some
if you too
nut-ass
messy,
mess,
World
like,
Chief is not coming your way.
yeah, you on some straight crazy shit. Like, nah, we cool. We cool.
I agree with that, because if I see you just wilding, like, nah.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's certain levels that like, all right, you got a little baby mama drama, whatever. I say you late, you struggle.
You got some
times,
allegations
some
and stuff.
Once
Bro,
we get to
no.
that, like, nah, I'm not.
I'm we're out.
I'm cool. We just keep that away.
Yeah.
Stay over there.
Right. Don't come this way.
No.
Okay. It's time to pull another.
Hold on. No, this, me or you? This me or you?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
You pull
okay.
one.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Let's see. How many side hustles have you had? Name two. Name two. Good God. I've had a million side hustles. Really? I done drove Ubers. I done DoorDash.
So?
I just picked up DJing. That's a side hustle for me.
So we definitely in the same boat.
Curating, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Curating events. It's kind of been like a side hustle for me. Man, yeah, I can When I was at Radio Shack, I was working at FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't done a lot. Yeah,
that's what it takes.
Yeah, for me, I'll it's you just gotta make it work. Find things that work for you. Obviously, we got to make some money. That kind of been a challenge for me. I went full time in music 2022, and I was just like, yo, I got to find ways to sustain a living, right?
Yeah.
Like I still got to eat. I still need.
And
to keep a roof
2022
over
was
my
still a little
head.
bit after COVID, so I feel like it was a lot going on.
It was a lot going on. I got fired from my last job, and I was just like, yo, I'm done. I'm done with having my well-being in somebody else's hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be mad at the job. I'm going to be mad without a job. So I'll just do it without a job and do it my way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that way if you mad at somebody, you mad at yourself, but you can change that.
But I can change that, I'm going to be stressed either way. I'd rather it be my stress that I'm cool with, you know what I mean? So I done had a million side hustles.
Mm-hmm. Them jobs going to stress you out one way or another.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like they going to stress you out. PTO, people, like it's going to stress you. You just got to find like what worked for you. And I try to find things that align with what I'm doing, so like DJing, that stuff aligns with
what you got going on.
Got going on. Okay. So yeah, I missed the side hustle.
Nah, for sure.
We're gonna make it work.
Absolutely. Now out of all the things that you've done, being a recording artist, I throw songwriter in there. Like I don't know if that's that if you consider yourself a songwriter, but clearly you are.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Host,
DJ, curator. What do you enjoy the most?
The performance part of all of those. Like I like writing and recording music, but performing music is my favorite part of it. I get to do that when hosting, right? Like I'm essentially kind of performing, entertaining, and I've actually kind of realized, that's like we're entertaining people. You know what I'm saying? We're keeping the energy up.
But you being an artist, I think adds an extra element. I think that's even doper because you can just do your own thing.
You know what I mean? Like we can just throw that in, and that's what I like about that part too. Because it's like, yo, you want me to come host something cool? I can also
do your thing.
Do the music part of it, and then DJing the same way. Like you kind of being in it. I'm like, oh, we're performing. Really, it's the same.
Yep.
It's just like performing my own music. I'm just curating other people's music, producing other people's music. Okay, so that's my favorite part of it all is performing, like them experience, like making the moments with people like in it. Like we doing this right now. So yeah, that's the performing parts of all of that is my favorite part of any of them.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Now I got one big question for you. I'm gonna put a pin in that to the end. Okay. We gotta hop into this other segment that I got. It's called On the Spot. I lightly mentioned it earlier where I play a beat and you have a couple choices. But one of the things you don't have a choice is you cannot sing or rap that actual song.
Right.
But you can put another song that's out. You can do one of your songs or you can freestyle.
Got you.
So you got a bunch of little options.
Got options.
I got 2 songs for you. I'll let you take your pick on which beat we do.
Okay.
Either we do the Deona Howard joint, or Kanye All Falls Down.
See, we can go to Deona Howard.
Okay.
We can roll with Deona.
Okay, we'll roll with a throwback, a little sample, a little classic. Okay,
got
so
you.
let me get them.
Oh, it's all good. Check.
Okay.
We rapping over the Deona
Freak Like Me.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on. I'll go ahead and play it. We'll just get a feel for it. It's your favorite cousin Deona Hustle. It's the off-air hustle. I got my guy Royal Chief with me. We're gonna do a little something that's called On the Spot. You my second guest to do it. You only my own
first guest was Joe Black.
Yeah, but you the first rapper though.
He was singing over that.
Yeah, he was singing, but you the first rapper to do it. So we really about to set it off. So Royal Chief, it's your favorite cousin Deona Hustle with the off-air hustle.
Hey.
Girl, you know we both one and the same. I know you way too well for you to be running this game. Know I treat you well whenever I run in that thing. Hit it front to back, that there got you going insane. Got you yelling my name, that why you want that up. All them girls be talking, need to shut that up. Trying to hold you down, that's why I keep this on the up and up. Keeping up with us, you need to show either keep up, keeping up the fuss. Might have to let you be. You keep up with that late night stressing. Got you late night texting. Yeah, you ain't right pressing me with them same old questions. On my timeline guessing, on my timeline stressing. It's a fine line between us. Don't get no misconceptions. You gotta watch how much stock you put in when people speak. For you buying to that, they gotta show receipts. Keep our business in the sheets and our streets. So you know we both some freaks. Let's just peace. That's all I'm saying. Hey, keep it low, low key. Keep it low, low key. Keep it low, low key.
What's the word of the day? Low key.
Low key.
Keep
man.
your business off of Facebook.
Please.
And keep it low key.
Please.
I'm tired of knowing about what's going on in your house.
Please. Please.
Shout out to the Royal Chief
Keep
one
it chill.
time for On the Spot. Low key. Make sure you check it out for sure. Appreciate you.
Hold me down. Shout out Deona Hustle, man.
You know it. Appreciate you on that segment.
Come on.
That was fun.
So hard.
Back in. Shout out to Royal Chief for setting us off. Being the first rapper to do On the Spot.
Out here.
And my first rapper guest, period.
Okay.
Recording artist, all of that.
Okay,
So,
I love
you
it.
know, we already jumping off the porch.
Off the porch.
The standard continues to raise.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
Yeah.
So.
I love it. I love what you're building here.
Thank you.
It's amazing to see, man. I got to give you all the credit. Shout out to you. Shout out to guys. You know.
Shout out to No Solutions. They hold it down.
Shout out to No Solutions. Yeah, we building brick by brick. So anybody here who trying to do something that's granted you from STL, but you still,
you know it.
It's we all to show me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sister cities, we linking up, we building. So I'm with it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you was from Missouri, but I saw Missouri everywhere, so I couldn't even play with you and be like, "Wait, they said you from Kansas." I couldn't even do that to you.
No.
I already know the KC Mo. Know how y'all get.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up down the street.
Oh, for real. So you already knew when I said this location. You was like, "Oh, it's,
I know where we at the crib.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely at the crib. Well, I appreciate you being a guest. But before you leave, I gotta ask you this question. With you transitioning, moving to Atlanta, getting that experience,
For sure.
building friendships, building your network,
Yep.
learning the business out there and coming back to Kansas City, what has been your biggest lesson that you feel like you've learned and maybe applied to your life that somebody else watching can apply to theirs?
That networking is bigger than your talent will ever be. If you know how to network, you'll be able to get all the things you want, achieve all the things you want. It's a lot of talented people. We know a million people. How many people we know? We'd be like, oh man, he could have made it to the league. He could have done this. You should have been da 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 da. And then we see them and they working at the gas station or they doing whatever. You know, this it's unrealized potential. That's because you got to know people. You know, you got to know people. You got to know places. You got to be tapped into things. So. Tell people, go outside, go be around people. The easiest way to get people to support you is by supporting them. So remove yourself, try to be a resource, and approach people with something to give, and that'll get you in all the rooms you need to be in to get, you know, what you want. So move yourself, make it about other people, make what you're doing in service of other people, and that'll open up all them doors and get you in all them rooms, and you'll realize all the shit you've been trying to do.
That's real. It's not
networking.
Yeah, it's not. What do they say? It's not what you know. It's who you know.
Every time.
All right. Well, you heard it here first from Royal Chief. Before he goes, I gotta drop the hustle hidden gems that we have. Now, these are gonna be 3 to 5 songs each week that are just songs that's on my playlist that I think are fire, and I feel like you should tap in with for sure. Now, I gotta start off, of course. Number one that's on my Hustle Hidden Gems. Royal Chief is on that with the low key joint. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you stream it. All
Tap
of that.
in with us.
So that's
Tap
number
in with
one.
us.
Number 2, I gotta put St. Louis in there. Blakeyana with STL Finest. If you hear this song, it's fire. Like it's a vibe. It's just a nice little vibe.
Okay.
Then Victoria Monet. I love Victoria Monet.
Yes.
I think she is phenomenal. To see her get a Grammy and do all of those major things, it was like, wow, you deserve this.
Yes, she does.
She has an interlude called We Might Be Falling in Love. A beautiful song. To me, the best songs are only 2 minutes. It's like, give me more.
I know how it be. I love it. I love it.
Now, coming up next, number 4 is Head to Dawn, Infatuated. That beat is fire. Not only is it fire, but it's also made by my co-host, Brian B. Shining. Listen to it. Check it out. Head to Dawn, Infatuated.
Brian got some slaps, by the way.
He do. I'm trying to tell you. Last but not least on my list is Larry June, Watering My Plants. It's a chill
Classic.
song. He started
Classic.
off with talking about the Chanel shades.
Come on.
I need some just so I can use that caption. I love that. But those are the Hustle hidden gems. Check it out. Each week we're gonna be dropping some different songs. So just make sure you tap in with them and try something new. And if you have an idea or you want me to, add your song to the Hustle hidden gems, hit me up. Let me know. But I appreciate you, Royal Chief, for stopping by the Off Air Hustle.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
We'll be back next week. See who's the next week's guest.
It's gonna be somebody dope. I already know.
I mean, we got a full lineup of dope guests. Royal Chief was one of the many, but this interview, one of the best.
Come on, talk to him.